Good afternoon. This is Christine Glein, the Chief Energy Officer at the Game Changing Impact Group and the creator of the Soul Intelligence Method. I am so glad to be back. I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. Although last week I spent the week in Jackson Hole with one of my favorite people in the whole wide world and partner in crime, amazing coach Jan Hoth. She and I led a wonderful mindfulness ski camp in Jackson Hole. And it was amazing. It was just beyond anything I could have expected. And I know I'm talking to you about authentic leadership today, and I'm talking to you about 7 things that you need to know to be an authentic leader. But what I thought I would do is start out by talking to you authentically about my experience. I went in just thinking I was going to help hold space and offer additional counsel and really enjoy some skiing. And although I got to do all of that, I got so much more out of the experience. Jan and I got an opportunity to spend time together creating new partnership containers for us to work in. We got to enjoy each other's way of leading groups, and I certainly got the opportunity to ski. I had an amazing awareness. I recognized that I had been holding on to a lot of grief. And so I made a commitment to leave that in Jackson Hole and to invite more play into my life. So I am going to be doing lots of fun stuff and continuing to make that one of my commitments to being a conscious, authentic leader this year. Because believe it or not, play is a major tenet in conscious leadership. All right. So let's talk about authentic leadership today. Authenticity is actually one of my values. It's number 2 behind the word inspire in my top 5 values. I want to lead. I want to inspire, enlighten, and make an authentic impact on others through the power of soul intelligence. Authentic leadership truly is a choice. And it's one thing to talk the talk. I'm sure we've all had leaders who say one thing and then do another thing. And there's nothing more destructive than having a leader demonstrate behavior in direct contrast to how they tell you how to behave. Don't you hate that? The old do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, it's hard for you to follow somebody like that because that's really not authentic. You really need to lead by example to be authentic. And if you don't know this already, the number one reason why somebody leaves a job is actually because of a direct supervisor. And the top 2 reasons why people vote with their feet is lack of trust, integrity, and let's throw a third one in there, lack of support. So what does it really take to be an authentic leader? It's more than just being who you are and living up to what you promise your team. It is demonstrating through your actions that you're true to your word. And if something happens and you can't come through on your word, then the next thing you have to do is to let your team know why, what happened. And although this was your best intention, here's where you are. You know, um, Living up to your mistakes when they happen. That's being accountable. You want to exemplify the qualities you want to see exemplified in your team, right? We're all mirrors and reflections of each other. So make sure that that's something that you do. You could also take one for the team, right? If the team fails and they didn't do something, you could take that responsibility on as the supervisor. You can stay late for one of your team members. If they have a crisis at home, step in for them. Knowing what's important to your team and what's going on in their lives and showing that you care is really critical. So you really have to understand, how to motivate your team on what best supports them. One of my conscious leadership units is all about intrinsic motivation. How do you get someone lit up from the inside out, right? Intrinsically motivated, not extrinsically, right? Most of the motivation we think of when we think about motivation is, oh, what bonuses can you give me? What salary increase can I get? What perks are you offering? And that's really where a lot of leadership went in the last few years. let's have mini golf, let's have ping pong, let's have refreshments. It's not really about that. If it were, we wouldn't have seen really the mass exodus that we saw of people leaving jobs because they just didn't feel a part of them. They didn't feel like they were part of something bigger than themselves. And that's really on a leader to get their team intrinsically motivated, understanding what's in here and what makes them tick and what kind of work lights them up. That's why I use tools like the Game Changing Index, because it allows me to understand what kind of activities really motivate a person. And when somebody is productive or happy, they're more productive, right? And if they're functioning in a team doing the type of work that they love, your teams perform even higher. So it's a great tool to use. If you're interested in learning about the GC Index, you can just pop me a note and I'll be happy to share it with you. You can just go #GC and I will be happy to get you information. You know, Recognizing people's contributions and making sure upper management knows what's going on for your team as well is also important. In essence, being an authentic leader is being the kind of leader that people want to run through the fire for, right? The one who leads from that best version of themselves, the one who's tapped into their soul intelligence. That's what you want. All right. I promised you 7 steps to authentic leadership, and I'm going to share them with you now. The first one, get a pen and paper if you don't have it already. Or you can ask me for my 7 steps. You can just put a note in the comments, and I will be happy to get you the 7 steps as a giveaway. All right. 1, focus on one change. If you want to make a significant change in yourself, you have to do one thing at a time. 2, rid yourselves of limiting beliefs, right? Our unconscious mind believes what you tell it repeatedly, right? That's what limiting beliefs are. They're repetitive thoughts that keep just going on repeat in your subconscious mind. And as I've talked to you about, your subconscious mind is really what's running the show. It's operating your brain and controlling 95% of your brain. All the decisions you make, that cognitive thought, those ideas, that inspiration, all those things, 5% in that conscious mind of yours. So the 95% of that unconscious mind has those repetitive thoughts on a loop, and that's what forms those beliefs. And what reinforces those beliefs are feelings, right? Your heart is what magnetizes things to you. That's why heart and mind coherence is so important and why you have to lead from this place of soul intelligence. If you're not really sure what I'm talking about, I would be happy to set up a call with you. I'm offering a free 30-minute soul intelligence discovery session. And if you're interested in finding out more about soul intelligence, how you live, love, and lead from that place, or how to get rid of some of those self-limiting beliefs without having to relive the trauma and understand why they were there, that's what my soul intelligence method can do. And people often have relief and see immediate transformation in their lives after one session. It's not a joke. It's not woo. It's a fact. It's energy. Everybody and everything is energy. And that's how the soul system of soul intelligence method actually works. And I'm really excited because in April, I'm going to be teaching the soul intelligence method for the first time to others, because I really want other people to experience the same transformation that my clients experience. All right. So we have number 1, focus on one change. Number 2, rid yourself of self-limiting beliefs. And if you don't know how and you don't know where to start, call me. Number 3, state your goal in positive terms and write it as if it's already happened. Yeah, the unconscious mind won't do anything that's in conflict with those values that are embedded in your unconscious mind. And when you write it as if it's already happened, that's when things start to come to you. But you have to feel them, like envision it, feel it, embody it, and do it every single day. Because the unconscious part of us really needs reinforcement. All right, be mindful of your actions. That's number 4. The mind remembers that which you closely observe or are deeply engaged with. But more than that, the subconscious mind is what notices your feelings, and feelings are what magnetizes your thoughts and collapses the information from the electromagnetic field into reality. So I'm not going into a quantum physics lesson here, but you got to understand the mind, the IQ is what sparks the electric in the electromagnetic field. That's the spark. What magnetizes is EQ, your emotions. As a matter of fact, there is a 6-foot wide field around your heart that magnetizes feelings and brings things down into the field. It collapses the particles, and that's what brings things into form. That's why Neville Goddard had it right with feeling is the secret. It's not just the thoughts. So you have to then visualize the changes you want, because your unconscious mind prefers creativity and imagination to rational thought and logic. Visualizing your own positive reprogrammed behavior and the outcome as if it's already happened with excitement and enthusiasm and seeing all the great changes in your life is an extraordinary, potent way to make positive change. And I can tell you, it's absolutely how I did it. Absolutely how I did it. I scripted my life. If you don't believe it works, I have a great movie recommendation for you. Has anybody heard of King Richard? This movie was about the Williams sisters and, moreover, their father. Their father readily admits in the movie, and even at the end of the movie, he wrote out the script of their life before they were born. He knew one of them was going to change the face of tennis forever, and the other would be the number one player in the world. It's really a fascinating biography, basically. And Will Smith was unbelievable in the movie. So I highly recommend you look at it and you listen for it and you see how, whether you liked him as a character or not, or if you liked him as a person or not, but how he actually really used this scripting tool to predict and bring in everything for his two girls. Venus Williams was amazing. She was like the Williams sisters together in tennis were like the first two sisters ever to hold number one and number two in the world. That's crazy. They came from Compton. They had no money. They had no way to do it. Everything stacked against them. But he wrote it, felt it, read it, and manifested it. It's pretty interesting. All right, so visualize the change you want. Watch your environment. Your subconscious mind is constantly connected to your environment, and it's always absorbing information, and it uses it to shape your thinking and your behavior without you even realizing it. Surround yourself with positive people, videos, music, books, conversations, and let them work their magic. Last one, as you work on being a better version of you, don't be critical of your progress. Too many of us focus on perfection. That is a surefire way to kill your spirit. Okay, there is no perfection. Progress, not perfection. Celebrate your little wins and persevere. Your unconscious mind truly needs repetition and positive strokes till a habit is installed. All right, again, the 7 steps to authentic leadership focus on change. Rid yourself of limiting beliefs. State your goal in positive terms. Be mindful of your actions. Visualize the change you want. Watch your environment and be generous to yourself. If you would like me to send you these 7, I will be happy to do that. You can just drop me a 7 in the comments and I will get it to you. If you are interested in learning more about conscious leadership and the power of soul intelligence, or you're curious, what is a soul intelligence session all about? Schedule a call with me. Just send me a quick note in a message, and I will be happy to send you a link to my calendar and get some time scheduled. So until next week, make it a wonderful Wednesday. All right. I want to hear about all your wins this week. And I will look forward to speaking with you again next week. I know I came on here a little bit early. Just so you know, when I'm out west, I have trouble calculating the other way around. Since I'm an East Coast person, I always go this way when I'm trying to remember what time to schedule things. And when I was out there, I double scheduled my stuff. You know why? Daylight savings time. Yep, it got me. I've been double booked a couple times this week because some people don't change their calendars and some people do. So, anyway, it is what it is. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I will look forward to sharing with you more on our next broadcast. Join me here at 3 Eastern next week, same spot. Take care, everybody.